Alright guys, my voice is basically gone. I've drunk a lot of milk in the past hour and had a workout today. Also went for the first run of the year pretty much, hit a 5k with a bit of uphill. So it was definitely a bit of a Lenten grind there. But just wanted to give a little video here at the beginning of the Lent, or Saturday night of the first week of Lent, concerning the spiritual desert, or I guess that state of nothingness to which we're called to by Christ. And I guess this is something that we're specifically focusing on now entering the Lenten season, but I think more broadly there's a principle to draw from this, which is what I want to share with you guys today. And I spoke a bit about it in one of the grind set videos and also in that virtue video, and it's that ultimately as a man or as a woman, but as a man, you can only take consolation in virtue and obviously the higher things of heaven, because the reality is that we can't take consolation in anything else. So the time of spiritual desert, or the time of Lent where we're cutting away attachments or things that give us pleasure in life, is not because the pleasure itself is bad, although obviously in some cases it can be, but it's to basically teach our minds and our souls to not draw consolation from things that are fleeting, to draw consolation from things that are dust. So let me give you a few examples. Phone, TV, music, basically dopamine, any kind of entertainment or novelty that you're feeding your brain to basically keep you happy or entertained. That's a very big one that we need to learn how to cut out. I have other ones, obviously food and basic pleasures like that, gym, sports, getting sort of the endorphin rush from those kinds of things, making money. Those things that I mentioned are good, but what we need to learn, or we need to teach ourselves through this Lenten period, and also more broadly throughout the rest of our lives, is that these things are not the ultimate goal. And while some of them will serve material goods, and some of them will serve spiritual goods as well, for example, by donating to the church or protecting the church, running your family, etc., providing for your family, we cannot seek our pleasure or our affirmation or our consolation from worldly things, because they're fleeting and because they're not actually enough to persevere. If I'm taking all of my self-worth as a man from how much money I earn or how much I can bench, and then I break my arm, or I become disabled, or I lose my job, or I lose my ability to make money, then all of a sudden my whole identity has collapsed. Then all of a sudden I'd enter into that depression. That's probably the reason why many people are depressed, is because their happiness or their emotional sort of peace or spiritual peace is revolving around this thing that goes actually round and round. It's not stable. Well, it's not God, it's not Christ, it's not the ultimate good, it's not virtue. These things are up here and they're unchanging. Like as Seneca said, Seneca was a slave, so he was one of the Stoics, but he could still live as a philosopher king insofar as he could live virtuously. And Marcus Aurelius was an emperor, and he was also living virtuously. So what living for the virtue, what living for the higher good means, what living for Christ means, is that the worldly circumstances are no longer dictating my happiness, my emotional stability. They're no longer dictating who I am, because I'm now focused on this, I'm working for this, this is my goal, this is my end reward. The virtue is the reward in and of itself. It's not the fruits that come from acting virtuously, it's not the fruits that come from working hard. It's working hard, it's acting virtuously, it's being godly. That's it. There's nothing more. All of the other worldly stuff, it's nice when it comes, when God blesses us with those things, but they're not enough. They're never going to be enough. And as I said, I can't depend on them. So hopefully that's clear to you guys. Hopefully you can understand that. Take this time, take this Lenten period, take generally the advice of not drawing consolation from worldly things, because they're fleeting and it's not going to work. We need to start aiming and striving and thinking at that higher level, because the moment we resort to our base things, not only does it not work in terms of making us feel happy, but we also start to make the wrong decisions, because ultimately it's not about that. You got to act for the true and the good and the beautiful, and that's it at the end of the day. Alright guys, I've probably already said too much. Have a good one. Have a good Sunday. We're 2 weeks late on this, but I was struggling for video ideas and a bit of time, so hope you're all well. Keep me in your prayers. God bless.